So just my name. How would you like me to do this? Like, hi, hey. I'm Joel Carriere, you're watching Juno TV. Start was kind of like a slow climb from a small city. When I was super young, I used to tour North America BMX racing, and I got into a lot of different music and genres of music, and then I for some reason felt the need to tell my friends back home what I was listening to, and I think I just kind of turned that into a career. So like, I worked at Sam the Record Man for probably longer than I should have, but I had a good time doing it. I worked at a major record label. I worked at Polygram when I was in my early 20s, and I took that and then snowballed it into being independent and starting like a cultural website, getting involved with Sea Music Festival, managing Alexis on Fire. Well, Dallas from St. Catharines, and it's a small community. It's a border town too, so we're heavily influenced by American culture. And we had a lot of common interests. He worked at he worked at a movie store, and I worked at the CD store, and he'd come in and we started talking about music, and it was like more of the alternative, like to the alternative, like that cool, like, have you heard this band? He had a band called Helicon Blue. I think I was working at Polygram at the time, and he kept on telling me to come see his band. And eventually I got to see his band at our local watering hole, and it blew me away. And I remember being a little buzzed and explaining it to him that I'm like, I don't know what I can do, but I'll figure it out. And we had like these conversations how we'd figure out how to work together for a long time. I guess 15 years later it worked out. I was in, quite a few years ago, maybe not that long, say 5 to 7, I don't remember. There's this billionaire who was courting myself and this band that I was working with. And I still try to wrap my head around what he was doing. I think he was just creating this hobby and buying people, just owning them, like kind of like a 360 deal that record labels are doing, but this billionaire just owns your life. So we're in LA for a couple weeks. So we have this meeting. It's very awkward, and we're going to the studio to do some demos for this guy. And I go to the washroom, and if it's really weird is I don't like going into urinals. I'm a stall guy. I didn't play team sports growing up, so I just like a bit of privacy. But I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm gonna hit a urinal. So I hit the urinal, and this little old guy cruises up next to me. And then so I'm obviously not sure on what the protocol is to talk to a guy when you're peeing next to him. So I'm like, I'm just gonna say hello. So I start talking to this little dude, and then he gets more interested in why I'm there than I realize it's Paul McCartney. And I'm like, oh my, I'm peeing next to Paul McCartney. And then I'm going through these emotions of like, should I look or shouldn't I look? So we finish up, didn't look, and we talk in the washroom for like 5 minutes. And then I realized that I didn't invite him to meet my band, of which are doing a Beatles cover in there for the BBC. Yeah, so that week was insane.